Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I'm excited to share a new video with you every Tuesday. This week, I have the Monk Manual Planner to share with you. This video is sponsored by Monk Manual, but I am truly excited to share with you all my genuine, honest opinions about this planner. I actually reached out to Monk Manual, so I don't reach out to many companies anymore because I actually get more requests than videos that I can make. I saw this planner on About Progress, Monica Packer. She is someone whose podcast that I listen to and follow on Instagram. And I saw her using this planner and it intrigued me. It looked very different than many of the other daily bound planners that I had reviewed. And I thought it would be something that I definitely wanted to share with you guys, but I didn't know how much I was going to want to share it until I got it into my hands. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is a special planner. So let's jump in. It comes with a little welcome card. So much thought was put into this planner. It comes wrapped really nicely. I showed a picture of it on my Instagram. Join me there at Amanda's Favorites. If you haven't yet, that's where I check in every day. It was wrapped just beautifully and simply in some tissue paper with a Monk Manual sticker. So if you were ordering it for someone else, it truly feels like a gift. This is a little note from the creator, Steve Lawson. Just another little note from them. They love to hear your success stories. Here is a little card for you, like a commitment that you're making to yourself when you get this planner. Some more getting started stuff that's on their website. They actually have a really good website. So those cards come with your planner, as well as just a little notes .grid notebook, which will fit perfectly in your purse, or if you want to stick it in the pocket in the back of your Monk Manual. It also would fit perfectly in here and matches the end pages of your Monk Manual. And there's a fun little story with this symbol that are on the end pages here. Steve shared with me that this logo was actually built off a symbol that his son drew. The symbol is the Great Plains Native American symbol for camp. And then he explained how that made him think, they lived in teepees and they're always on the move, but we can't move to a monastery to find our peace. So we need to create and bring that peace with us wherever we go. Monk Manual is inspired by monks, but backed by science and designed for you. That's one of their little slogans. It is truly a book that actually made me feel more peaceful as I was using it. And honestly, I haven't had that feeling from any other planner. It's odd. It was kind of like a journal planner combination for me, but in the most calm, peaceful way, not overwhelming. I want to first mention before I forget that I have a discount code for you guys, a huge discount of 20%. Most companies do not give me 20%, you guys. This is a 20% code that expires the last day of September 30th, 2019. It expires. The code is Amanda's Favorites. We'll get you 20% off. Now, Monk Manual is a 90-day planner. And so if you buy more than one, they give you a discount. The more you buy, and I don't remember those discounted prices, but I think one of the bigger sets, like if you buy 4, I think that set is already discounted like 20% off. And then my code should work on top of that. So if you were ordering a set of these to last like a whole year, you could get a killer deal. When my 20% off expires on the last day of September 30th, October 1, it will go to only 10% off. So that's something to keep in mind, that if you really want to try one, make sure to get it before that 20% is off. Let's jump in to the Monk Manual. It's about purpose, intentionality, and freedom is all what this Monk Manual is about. It's 90 days. It's 8.5 by 5.5, an A5 size. So it's very portable. It comes with a band. And can I just say that this is one of the nicest looking book-bound daily planners that I've ever had in my hands. It feels great in your hands, but it also looks great for a guy or a gal. It doesn't matter. On their site, it says it is saddle stitch binding with a vegan leather cover. It feels wonderful. You have a pocket back here. I'm going to take that little notebook out, and your band just sits right inside like any other planner really well when you don't need it. It comes with 3 grosgrain ribbons, which also go with the color of the planner wonderfully. I love having 3 ribbons in this planner. You can have one on your monthly, one on your weekly, and one on your daily. They function perfectly. Let's just start off at the beginning. And before I forget to tell you, this is 100 GSM paper. I guessed though, before he told me, that it was 120 GSM. So that's how good it feels. This paper feels really nice. I will show you how it reacted with my pens. It's a beautiful paper, and I absolutely love the fonts that they've chosen to use. I have used this myself for a period of time, and that's why you will get to see some of my pages filled out. So let's go to the beginning. You have a nameplate page you can fill out there, and you do have some quotes throughout for motivation, and then you have a letter from this founder, Steve Lawson, why he came up with this system, how he came up with this system. Then there's a how to use the monk manual, taking you through his thoughts on why it was developed this way, and then you go into your monthly layouts. It is a 90-day system, but you have one extra month and one extra week. So that way, whenever you start, you can truly get a full 90 days use out of it. I thought that was really intentional thinking there too. Here's just where I filled out my month when I was using it. So all your monthly pages are going to be first. They're all up front here. So let's go to a blank one. You're going to fill in your day numbers, of course. This monthly chart, it is small boxes. So if you're using this for your agenda, you're going to have to write very small to fit your timed appointments in here. What I mainly was using it for though was keeping track of my habit for the month. So on the month, you write one habit that you want to focus on for the month. Mine was having my devotional with my boys every day. Then I was keeping track of if I had the devotional with both of them. And I really fell off the bandwagon in August, you guys, with our devotional. We were doing good in the summer, but now we haven't done it. That's why it's not filled in. But I love this chart for keeping track of a habit. It's highly motivational for me and easy. You keep your little thing here. For your month, you have 5 things to prepare or have priority on that month. Just 5 things. Then you have a monthly theme, and then you have a monthly check-in with thumbs up or thumbs down on your relationships, physical, body, like spiritual, work, vocation, personal growth, and play. And then one change I can make in the next month that will make the biggest impact. And one question I'd like to answer this month. Then you have a reflect section. Biggest accomplishments this month, relationships I'm grateful for. And I want to chime in that the day I'm filming this is actually August the 15th. I am actually working ahead, which is great because sometimes I get last minute videos thrown in and I've been really trying to stay ahead. So I am working ahead even though this video is not coming out until the beginning of September. I think September 3rd. I don't have my calendar here to look at. I'm only on August 15th. So that's why I haven't filled out any of this because we haven't actually gotten to the end of the month. We're only, we're really only 2 weeks and a couple days into the month. You have your biggest accomplishments for the month, relationships I'm grateful for. So thinking about those things we're grateful for, your greatest insight gained this month. And then you just have dot grid note room. At the bottom of the monthly pages, it's labeled monthly. So as you're flipping through, you can easily see the daily pages are labeled daily and the weekly pages are labeled weekly. So it's really easy to flip through and also see. I thought that was a really smart thing to do, label those at the bottom like that. And I just want to show you up close on a page I haven't written on the fonts that they have chosen, like this typewriter font and the colors that they have chosen, because it's not harsh on your eyes at all. It's not a lot of harsh black. It's like a dark gray and then just very light peach khaki-ish boxes. And the colors are very pleasant to your eyes. And I'm just a really big fan of the whole aesthetic look of this planner. And after using and reviewing so many planners, the whole aesthetic look and feel does make a big difference in a planner on how I feel when I'm using it, on if I am motivated to use it. It makes a difference to me. So that's a huge thing to me. I love this monthly 2-page spread. It makes sense to me. It is something simple I can keep track of, focus on one habit for the month, see how I'm doing, 5 things to focus on, a few check-ins on the most important things in our life, and a note spot. Something I really appreciate about this planner is on your monthly, your weekly, and your daily, there is a open notes room on every page. So you're not going to run out of space to just when you need to scribble notes down or make an extra list for anything. So you have 4 monthly 2-page spreads. They threw in an extra month so that no matter when you started this mid-month somewhere, you would be able to use the full 90 daily pages that are in here. You have a 4-month spread, and then you have kind of a title, purpose, intentionality, and freedom to go into your weekly pages. Here is what your weekly pages look like. Here is one of my weeks filled in, just so you can get a feel for what a week looks like filled in. But let's go to a blank week. I want to take you to a blank week and run through the basic layout. Your daily is a 2-page spread, your monthly is a 2-page spread, and your weekly is a 2-page spread. You write in your week up here, and then you have prepare priority section for 3 items that you want to get done that week. And I love how number 1 is highlighted for you. So while you're making this, you really think, what is the one priority that I need to get done this week? I completely appreciate this weekly to-do list and kind of wrap-up page for your week. It felt so good to me to use this page. It felt like looking at it like, oh, I have my week under control because it's all right here. And as I go to a new daily page, then I would just come back here and consult my week, and I would immediately feel just really calm, really in control, and like I've got this because here it is. This is telling me what I mapped out to be the most important. So you have your priority, you have 3 priorities, but your top one. And here you can circle what day of the week is your intention to get that priority done on. That's a really cool thing added in there that was actually really helpful. Now it's okay that I had to change that around sometimes, but it started out by giving me an intention of what day these tasks had to get done sometime in the week. No negotiations on these 3. And when was that going to happen? Then other miscellaneous to-dos. Then personal growth. What personal growth are you going to work on this week? What relationship growth are you going to work on? 3 things you're looking forward to this week. Then you have your habit tracker for the week. I wasn't so good at filling this in since I was going back to my monthly, but some people would want to see it in both, and see it more up close when they're checking in with their weekly page every day to kind of make their daily to-do list off this weekly page. And so you have boxes to check off for that one habit you're working on that month, to look at it on a weekly basis too. You have your biggest accomplishments for the week, your 3 biggest. This is your reflect section. Habit insights that you came up with that week. So, of your habit that you were trying to form or do or improve on, what are insights you gained there of things that might have gone right or things that went wrong? Meaningful moments that week. God is teaching me. So I did forget to mention this. This, of course, since it is a monk manual, there is a part that says God is teaching me. But I feel like even if you are not a Christian, I feel like it's such a small little part of this book that I would definitely not write off this book just on the fact that if you're not a Christian, because that can easily be changed. Just, what did you learn this week? One way I can improve next week. And then you have that blank notes section that I really appreciate. Every week you get this fresh 2-page spread. It feels so good, you guys, to open up to this. Then let's flip to our daily pages. I will show you some of the daily pages that I filled out. So your daily page section starts right here. Everything in this book feels classy, top-notch, and highly thought through. From the paper and the materials to the questions to the layout of the pages, very intentional. I'm just going to flip through a little bit. These are my daily 2-page spreads. I just want to show you a few of them. And I was flipping back between black and blue ink, just seeing which one I liked better in here. I usually use black ink in my planners, but every once in a while I'll do a switch to blue, which gives a whole different look to the page. I think I was liking black better in here. Then when I look at the blue page, it looks a little bit more lighthearted and happy. So let's flip to a page, and this truly does lay flat for you. You do just have to massage it a little bit, like a new book, but it does lay flat like a Leuchtturm book. The paper is much thicker than a Leuchtturm though. Here is the bulk of your book, your daily pages, 90 daily pages. You start over here on the left. You have room for your date, your habit that you're working on for the month. Once again, they take that to your day. So you can be reminded, I am working on this one habit for the month. Check that off for the day, and then you'd go to your week, which would be marked. Check that off for your week and in your monthly. Or, if you didn't want to go check it off in your monthly every day, you could just do it at the end of the week by checking your week chart and then transferring that to your monthly habit tracking. You have your prepare and priority 3 boxes. So again, that kind of follows your weekly layout where there was 3 for the week. You have 3 for the day. I love top 3. I have a whole video about it. I think it's called a productivity playlist. And I have a whole video about this, that a top 3 is something I have used for years before I ever got into fancy planners. A top 3 is something I've always used for my to-do list. So this highly resonates with me. And having your top item highlighted as a mom that homeschools and also works from home, so many things, in so many different categories are going on for me every day. Separating what are really my priorities for the day. What are my non-negotiables besides homeschool that absolutely has to get done after homeschool? And this is where that helps me. Then you have just a to-do list for the rest of your to-dos. But I always know that these 3 will happen and that number 1 will happen first. That's how this list really helps me. Your to-dos, your I am grateful for. Now, I liked to fill that out at the end of the day. I know some people might like to fill that out at the beginning of the day. So whenever you like to fill out your gratitudes, but in this certain planner, I've done gratitudes at both times of the day. In this particular planner, I liked to fill that one out at the end of the day. I think it's more made for you to fill it out at the beginning of the day. Then it says, I'm looking forward to. So something you're looking forward to probably that day. But sometimes I would fill this out at the end of the day, even though I think the intention is the beginning of the day. And it worked for me that day. Like to think something you're looking forward to the next day or further on in the week. Then you have your timed schedule laid out here, especially if you time block or if you don't, just for appointments. This is a great layout. It has half-hour lines in between, and you have 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., but then you have 4 extra lines after 10 p.m., and you have 3 extra lines before 6 a.m. So if your day starts at 4 a.m. or if your day ends at midnight, they have got you covered. It is laid out here with extra lines, and I like how they didn't crowd it up with putting your times in those extra lines because most people wouldn't need those times. Open for you to write. Let's say you want to write what you're having for dinner every night down here, or if you want to write your workout every day up here. So it's open because they didn't put those times in there, but it's also there for the people who need to put in those extended times. This is just to carry over your theme for the week, to remember what is my theme for the week that I am working on or focusing on this week. Ways I can give. This one stumped me at first, but after a couple of days of working in this planner, it was easy for me to fill it out. It usually revolved around my family and my children, since that's who I'm serving and working with every day. But what ways can I give? And many times that was for me to think, what ways can I give to God today? But what can I give to Him by serving others or by doing something for myself that helps me become a better person and disciple of Christ? Ways I can give. I think that is a really deep, reflective thing to think on every single day. And then you reflect at the end of the day, what were your 3 highlights? I was my best when 3 times. I felt unrest when, and one way I can improve tomorrow. And then you have a blank note section for any, maybe you need more to-do lists, or just every day I actually need to make notes in my daily planner. It's like I'm on a phone call with the doctor, or I'm taking notes on something I'm looking up on the computer. I always need a note section in my daily planner, so this is perfect for me. And I will fully admit that at first, I have never loved a daily planner where I have to fill out some questions every day and reflect. I already journal every night in my 5-year memory book, and it's not my personality to kind of like journal in my planner. However, this is the very first planner that I have ever enjoyed doing the journaling and questions every day in. This took me 1 minute every night because I'm not a perfectionist, and I don't just sit there and think, what do I need to say? Oh, really? Evaluate this or that for a long time. No, I was just like, you write down the first thing that comes to mind. This is just from the heart. What were my 3 highlights? When was I at my best? When did I feel unrest? And what's one way I can improve tomorrow? These came within 1 minute every night. So it was nice to sit down every night and just boom, 1 minute, really think about your day. Look, here's your day. What happened? This was your physical tasks. These were just our productivity for the day. But let's look at our heart for the day, at our soul for the day, at our spirit for the day. Let's look at that over here. And that was a really nice way to end my day, to see, both forms in my planner and saying like, okay, I've got this. Filling that out at the end of the day then led me right into looking at my next day. And then I would think about what's tomorrow going to be, fill in any appointments, and then think about my top 3 for tomorrow. Now, a lot of times my to-do list just keeps getting added to as the day goes on. So that wouldn't all be filled in at night, but I liked to have my top 3 priorities done and looking at like, well, what's my schedule tomorrow? So it was a really nice way to end my day and then look at what tomorrow is. And literally doing those both things was way under 5 minutes. It's not a lot. It's not overwhelming. And I personally like the questions and feel them to be very intentional. These questions actually help me to feel peace at the end of all my days. They really did. At the end of all your daily pages, so there's all your dailies, you go to the very end and there's just a few notes pages because you do have notes on every daily, weekly, and monthly page. You have 10 notes pages here, and that's counting front and back. So 10 total notes pages. Still some room for notes. And you can always add this little booklet in the back if you're someone who needs a lot more room for notes. And then if you run out of this, you can pick up any little booklets like this at Target and stick them in here if you need more notes room. Back here, feedback. They love to take your feedback. They really want to know how you feel about this planner and how it functions for you. They want to know what you love about it and what you don't love about it. Steve is really open to feedback. That is the Monk Manual. I can't say enough good things about it. You guys, I feel like I'm just raving this whole video because personally, it truly excites me. If you follow me, you know that I've used a simplified daily planner for this is my 5th year. And I try a lot of other daily planners and that's always what I come back to. This is truly something that I feel has made me feel calmer on the days that I've switched and used this. Helped me feel clarity in my life and direction. And this is something that I would not be surprised if became a permanent fixture in my life. I truly love it that much. I want to look back at the weekly pages and tell you why the weekly pages are so important. In my mind, they just made me feel calm and like I could conquer my week. On their website, they talk about how these weekly pages help you to step back and to assess your progress really honestly. To really look at your progress on, what were my habit insights for the week? How was I doing on that? What were my accomplishments? But what's one way I can improve? If we're not ever looking at those things in our life, we're not going to make improvements. We're not going to change. We're not going to grow and progress. So weekly, if we're looking at those things, we can see trends and we can evaluate what's going well, what's really not going well. Really assessing those things once a week, I feel like is really important, however you do that. And I feel like that this planner conquers that, being able to assess that once a week really well. And then once you look at those weekly insights, I think, okay, I'm going to adjust how next week goes based on that. My plans, my schedule, my routines, look at that based on how my last week went. So I can become better every single week. I want to tell you a quick little story before we end that as the creator, Steven and I were emailing back and forth. He told me as he was getting ready to prepare his final copy, and I asked permission to be able to share this, that he was not finding peace about exactly what to include because there were so many things he wanted to include and what do you take in and what do you take out. He said at 1 a.m. one night, he just said to himself, what if I just made it? If I just thought of it, I'm making it for my son to use when he's an adult, like a legacy gift to him, a way to help him live more fully. He said, when I thought about it that way, then everything became very clear. And he said, automatically, just right off, he had total peace about what to include. And he wrote in his journal that night, love clarifies. And I love that insight that he came up with, love clarifies. Because I feel like in so many decisions in our life, that phrase, love clarifies, is true. So that's just a fun little insight about this planner. Go check out their website. I'm going to list it down below for you guys in the description. Do not forget, Amanda's Favorites is your code for 20% off through September 30th. And then starting October 1, it's only 10% off. I did not really show you my pen and highlighters and everything. So let's look at that. As you can tell, this entire page behind here was covered in pen. You see nothing. There are no problems, no bleed throughs. Here's a blank page so you can see what you see in a page covered in pen. This 100 GSM paper really performs like 120 GSM paper, and I've seen and touched so much paper. So I'm really saying that from experience of filling a lot of paper. This whole planner is 256 pages. He said on his website, it's high quality acid-free paper. So maybe that's what makes it feel better than most other 100 GSM paper that I have felt. It just feels like amazing paper that you want to write in and use and becomes like a special book in your life. There are some pages that have been all used in pen, front and back, and with mild liner, highlighters in there. And you can see that there is no problem with pens on these pages. It takes all your pens and highlighters. All right, guys, that is the Monk Manual. This is a planner that needs to be shared. Every year, I have some top finds in planners, like the top new planners that I just discovered that year that are new to me. And this is definitely right now for 2019, I would say my top new find that I didn't know about in 2019. Check it out. I would love to know what you think about this down in the comments. Please let me know. I always love your thoughts. And if you use Monk Manual, please let me know what you love about it or what you don't like. I'd love to hear both sides. Share down in the comments. Let's discuss this Monk Manual that I am just so excited about. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy planning. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.